So today, lads, we are going to be talking a little bit about the whole investigation. And for the first time, we have seen some form of credible media. And again, I don't know exactly the way things work in the US, but this is on an actual TV network. This is from an actual TV network that is associated with NBC, with something associated with NBC. And I agree with this. I actually do agree with this point. And it is about the investigation. And it's about all of this stuff. And to be honest, when it comes to fans, you're seeing crazy stuff right now. Again, I had this video recorded. And by the way, this footage did not go viral and I was expecting it to. And I literally was it kind of had gone from 0 to 40,000 views and 1,000 likes on TikTok in an hour. And I was like, oh God, I kind of recorded a video on it. And I was like, I'll sleep on it. I'm going to sleep on this video. And if it doesn't go viral, I'm not going to talk about it. But it kind of sums up the whole point where it's it is literally somebody at the Dallas Wings game posted an entire thing being there's no space for hate. This guy needs to be banned from going to the WNBA, from going to WNBA games. I'm no longer a fan. I was cheering for this guy. I'm not a fan of Dallas Wings anymore because of this fan. He should have been kicked out. And apparently it's Angel, and not apparently, it is a video of a guy shouting, walking triple single at Angel Reese as she's shooting free throws. Chanting triple single. And I'm like, it's gotten to the stage now where the words triple single is considered hate speech, according to these people. So it's and there's and people, I saw another thing where it was I saw that shared on Twitter and someone was and people really think that the Indiana Fever fans are innocent if this is Wings fans. I'm like, dude, you've literally just said triple single. I'm sorry, that is as offensive as calling Caitlin Clank if she misses shots. I'm sorry, there is sports heckling. Sports heckling is a thing. Sports heckling is a thing. But anyway, let's take a listen. So this is a clip from John Sears, and it is from the Who 13 Des Moines, Iowa station. And again, look, it is Iowa, so look, it is what it is. It is what it is, but so obviously there will be bias towards Caitlin Clark, but I actually agree with what he's saying. I'm going to be honest. I genuinely do agree.
Okay, so let's rewind and just think about this rationally for a second. Let's take a deep breath. Okay. Fever Sky, Game 1, 3 million people tuned in to watch. Sold out arena, most watched WNBA game ever on ESPN. Fever win, investigation launched. Yet not once did we see any firsthand account of racism on social media. No video, no audio, nothing, nada. There was zero evidence to launch an investigation. Yet for some reason, the WNBA did. And again, think about...
And they did it based on social media. And by the way, it is a situation now where it's the league who cried wolf. Because now there's a bunch of things where it's they can't investigate. So they have to investigate, where it's based on what they've done, there should be investigations for everything. Based on what they've done, the Aces should be investigated for putting Dearica Hamby's kid on the screen as they were booing a bunch of rival fans, which is completely fine. But intentionally putting Dearica Hamby's kid on it so that the fans boo her kid, that should be based on the WNBA's logic. It should be based on it should be investigated. The reality is, should there be an investigation on that? No, but there shouldn't be an investigation based on Twitter BS. And we kind of know that that's what the investigation came from. We know the players said they heard nothing. The Sky coaches have said them and the player, or they didn't hear anything. And then the media ran with a fake story.
About the times we are living in. If you're at a major sporting event, thousands and thousands of people around you, and you see a fan standing and yelling racist remarks at another team, wouldn't you think there would be evidence somewhere? Video, audio, firsthand accounts? And I mean,
if a fan was doing that, they would be kicked out. They would be kicked out. We all know it. We all know if it was continually happening during a game or was within an earshot of security, especially in the WNBA and especially in Indiana, in Cambridge, where they have to be extra careful about all of this, the fans would be kicked out. We all know that.
I mean, evidence right away on social media. Solid, concrete, yep, there it is, evidence. Yeah, of course there would be. Have you scrolled X lately? It is a cesspool that feeds off of that stuff. But there wasn't, because it never happened. Angel Reese was asked about the incident. She said, quote, "In the moment, it was hard to hear." So if we stop there, that's code for I didn't hear anything. The person that the racist remarks are supposedly aimed at has no idea if anything happened. But then she goes on to say, there's no place for this in the league, and if it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. Agree, except it didn't happen.
And that's why I got so angry about this. And by the way, you will not hear me on this channel saying anything really negative about Angel Reese as a person, except for the fact that it was clear that she was on her podcast with the guests she was bringing in. It was clear for a while that she was... It was like any... Cheryl Swoops would get into a beef with Caitlin Clark. Suddenly Cheryl Swoops is a guest. It was like bringing on people and talking about certain topics that were like there to go viral. But at the end of the day, I think that was more so what it was. It was her trying to go viral. Nothing malicious. And again, this paints 18,000 people as something that maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But nothing happened during that game. And again, to say that every single fan in that arena is innocent is as naive as saying every single one of them is guilty. But if we're being honest, just like in real life, 99% of people in general are good people. And just like you don't paint the entire Aces fan base as being horrible people for booing Hamby's kid, people have now painted an entire Fever fan base as being something based on lies. And then again, that's the one thing where it was, whereas it was like, you've got Alyssa Thomas being like, if Angel says she heard something, we believe her. And it's like, she didn't even say she heard something. She didn't. She said she didn't hear anything. And you've even got other teams' players believing the BS. And it's like, look, again, Angel Reese has obviously received so much hate on social media. She's probably heard stuff nobody has to deal with. And for that, I'll always say, like, it's a horrible position. I do not envy the position Angel's in. She's 100% had to read stuff about it and see stuff about it nobody should ever have to. But like, just because that statement is true does not make it any more understandable making up stuff about fans in an arena when you just didn't hear anything. Because let's be honest, you've got people courtside all over the court being like, we heard nothing. So obviously on the court, they heard nothing.
None of it. We're talking about a hypothetical what-if scenario as if it's concrete fact. There were reporters doing stories on it, ESPN analysts giving commentaries all based around this rumor being true, jumping to conclusions. Reese assumed it happened, even though she never heard anything. The Sky coach said he didn't hear anything. And that's part of the problem created by the WNBA. The league made Reese believe racist remarks were said, when in fact they weren't. Fans booed her, cheered against her, but nothing racist was said. The WNBA did a disservice to the Indiana Fever fan base and launched an investigation centered around racism that was completely unnecessary. I have no doubt Angel Reese has experienced racism in her life, and that should never happen. But it wasn't during this game, and the league should not jump to conclusions like it did.
And I cannot agree more with that statement. I cannot agree more. Genuinely, I cannot agree more. And what I will say about that is where it's like, when the investigation came out with nothing, people were annoyed that it came out with nothing. These people wanted the fans to be bad. Like, that's the crazy thing, is it where it's like, these people are unhinged. They wanted the fans to be bad so that they could paint them as bad. And the end goal is the same. The end goal is the same with all these people, and it is to bully 22 from Indiana out of the league. That is their end goal. And they will, if it means using Angel Reese as a prop to do that, if it means using these other players as props, even if it means that these players get more hate than they deserve, which I stand by. Like, Angel Reese gets 100 times more hate than she deserves. She was not only made believe this, she was probably fed lies as well. And again, she probably looks on social media, goes home, clicks on DMs, and sees 100 completely out-of-pocket messages and assumes some of them are in the crowd. And to be fair, like, there's no question about that one. If you saw some of the stuff I get sent, you would you would not question the validity of some of the social media stuff. But it's very different to social media stuff and a whole group of fans. And the problem is now is that the players want it to be proven that a certain fan base, game-going fan base, are bad. And they want to be proven, and they're not going to stop until their false narrative, their hypotheticals are proven correct. Because let's be honest, we've got all these situations out there. Diamond the Shields got into Twitter beef with a rage baiting bot trying to promote an OnlyFans. We had like Dejanay Carrington getting onto Twitter beef with Dr. Philip Oliver Holes. We had a whole bunch of Natasha Howard's wife getting into Twitter beef with a Chicago Sky fan who called Natasha Howard Nalissa Smith, and apparently that was slurs. Apparently Nalissa Smith is now a slur. So it's like you've got all of this situation happening, and it's like so many crazy things are happening that have had nothing to do with not only Fever fans in general, but nothing to do with especially the game-going Fever fans, which are mostly kids. And then suddenly it's wanting to paint the kids as something they're not. And that's why I feel so strongly about this topic is what they've essentially said is all those young kids that are super excited to watch their favorite players play basketball are basically being called the scum of the earth. And the league is allowing that to happen. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. I'll see you guys.